This is the all-new 2011 XJ, flagship of the Jaguar brand. The goal of the XJ was to redefine the world's perception of luxury performance vehicles, to create, quite frankly, the world's most beautiful luxury sports sedan, with seductive looks, with refined luxury, with intuitive technology, and absolutely spectacular driving dynamics and performance. My name is Ian Balfour. It's my pleasure to give you a quick walk around of the new XJ, and we'll begin that walk around up front of the vehicle, where the first thing you probably notice is family familiarity. The grille composite material is similar to that of the XF, but you'll notice the grille is much wider and much taller, more upright, paying a little homage to the Series 1 from 1968. You'll also notice a little bit of familiarity in the headlamp assembly to XF, but notice that it's much shorter from top to bottom. A little bit of what Ian Callum calls the Raptor eye look to the front of the car. Of course, standard is xenon headlamps, and all new for 2011, the LED signature lights underneath the headlamp assembly. Final thing I would point out at the front of the vehicle is the very low hood assembly. At a coefficient of drag of 0.29, that's within a hundredth, 0.28, of something like a Honda Insight or even a Chevrolet Corvette, giving excellent fuel economy and great high-speed dynamics and performance to the vehicle. So let's pop the hood and talk about some of the technologies that give the XJ both its dual nature of sport and luxury in the same car. First huge advantage we have is the structure of the vehicle, all aluminum. And when we say all aluminum, we shouldn't forget there is actually some magnesium in the car, components like the instrument panel carrier that hold the instrument panel in place. Magnesium's even more rigid and light than aluminum, but most of the car is aluminum. That aluminum gives us a huge advantage in weight of the vehicle, as much as 700 pounds compared to competitors in this category. The aluminum also makes the car much lighter, 40% lighter for the body shell than were it made of steel, but 60% more rigid, helping with that performance nature. Rigid chassis helps the suspension do its job a whole lot more effectively. So that's the beginning of it. Now there are three different XJs. There's XJ, XJ Supercharged, and XJ Super Sport, each available in standard and long wheelbase versions, and each built around a different version of the all-new Generation 3 AJ V8 motor. 5-liter power plant. The XJ uses the naturally aspirated version of that motor, 385 horsepower, 380 pound-feet of torque, outstanding performance. But if you want to go to a higher level, we have the 470 horsepower XJ Supercharged, producing 424 pound-feet of torque, obviously a supercharged version of the powertrain, really taking the performance to the next level. But for those customers who want it all, the XJ Super Sport uses a 510 horsepower version of the AJ Generation 3 V8, producing 461 pound-feet of torque. Awesome performing vehicle. So those three different powertrains take the performance from powerful to ballistic. Now there's some other technologies that contribute to this dual nature. First I'd like to point out is called adaptive dynamics. Adaptive dynamics allows each shock absorber to be independently controlled from its softest to its firmest damping level and anywhere in between, immediately changing based on how the driver of the vehicle is moving the car and how the road differences change. We also have another technology, the 6-speed ZF Sport Automatic, which allows for beautiful luxury driving, cruising down the freeway, seamless shifting between gears. But when the driver is going to that on-ramp to the freeway, may want to drop down a couple of gears. Click the left paddle twice. Manual control of the gears give us that sporty characteristic. If the XJ is equipped with a supercharged motor, it's also going to have an active differential at the back of the vehicle. That active differential apportions the power that the vehicle produces to the wheel. It's going to have better grip, reacting to road conditions, but also proactively based on how the driver is going around corners. It will send that power. So there's some great technologies involved there. A couple of other things to point out. On all XJs, you have Jaguar Drive Control System that gives us winter mode, dynamic mode, and of course normal luxury driving mode. That is on every one of these vehicles and gives a great deal of comfort, particularly to those customers who have to drive in an area where there's some compromised traction. Winter mode is very effective at doing that. The best way to describe this whole technology section would probably be to say, look at the EPA ratings on the vehicle. Standard XJ, standard wheelbase, 16 city, 23 highway. When you go to the long wheelbase, it becomes 15 city and 22 highway. And any vehicle with a supercharged motor, regardless of standard or long wheelbase, is 15 city, 21 highway. Excellent fuel economy for vehicles in this category. And interesting to note, though many of our competitors have gas guzzler taxes on their cars from entry level all the way to their high performance variants, virtually no Jaguar XF, XK, or even now the new XJ has any gas guzzler tax whatsoever.